Welcome to Beatsource Tech. My name is Mojaxx and this is one of the more unusual videos I've ever had to make. It's a video where I'm talking about a product which very soon you won't be able to buy. Well, sometimes a plan goes wrong. When I shot that intro, there were a few of the final remaining Radius 4 Mk2 mixers left, but now, 3 days later, they've all gone. So you definitely can't buy one already unless you find one used. Let me explain what's happening and address the big news that came from Mastersounds a few days ago. They announced that they were building their final units of all their mixers, as well as their effects units, the ISO 4s and linear power supplies. Predictably, this led to much speculation in the rotary community about why this was happening, especially as Ryan, the founder of the company, didn't really spell out any reasons for this move when announcing it. Well, I had a long conversation with Ryan a few days prior to that, and I can tell you he's just decided to stop doing mixers. It has involved a huge commitment of time and energy since 2016, and he has other projects in the audio space which he wants to move on to instead. So it's as simple as that. There's no conspiracy, Alpha Theta haven't kidnapped him to help boost sales of the Euphonia, he's just decided to do something else with his time. Of course, I find this sad. I've been reviewing Mastersounds products since the beginning, and it's been quite a journey seeing their range and products develop over that time. But the disappointment is offset slightly by two things. Firstly, Mastersounds, the company, is not going away, so owners of their products, including those who buy from the final batch, will still enjoy the same warranty and after-sales support they always have. They aren't leaving consumers in the lurch. And secondly, the mixer side of Mastersounds has always been a partnership between Ryan and Andy Rigby-Jones, the audio engineer previously best known for his work with Allen and Heath. Every Mastersounds mixer has Union Audio, the name of Andy's company, on the back of it. The two of them haven't fallen out either, in case you were wondering. They're still tight. And the thing is, a few years ago, Union Audio wasn't a consumer-facing brand, but today it is. They have their own mixers available now, the Orbit 6 and the Elara 4, both of which are superb. So that means that the products created by Andy now have another outlet moving forward. Of course, the Mastersounds range was a collaboration between him and Ryan, and whilst I'm sure that future products from Union Audio will have a slightly different flavour due to that, I also believe that they'll retain much of the Mastersounds magic that I've loved over the years. There doesn't seem like a whole lot of point doing a full review of the Radius 4 Mk2 now, as I say, they've all gone. But I did already shoot the demo portion, and I think that's worth sharing for posterity, as it could be useful for anyone looking to buy a used one in future. So here's my demo. Right, let's run you through the top panel functionality here on the Radius 4 Mk2. Obviously we have these main rotaries at the bottom, very smooth gradual curve on them. They're designed to be run right at the top. It's not like some rotaries where you have the kind of unity gain around, 2 o'clock or something like that. No, these are designed to be run fully round. Above that you have the Q on each channel, illuminated Q switch for each one. You can do multiple channels at once. Then we have the high pass filter. Which has very low resonance up until about 12 o'clock, and then the resonance changes, the Q factor changes as it goes up. So the first half is just about taking away a bit of the low end. And then as you go further, there will always be those who miss having a regular EQ setup, but for me this is enough, absolutely. Just enough to kind of give that bass a kick when you bring the track in, and also as an effect as well. Up there you've got the switches to go between line and phono, or line, phono and mic. Then we've got the trim control on each channel, lots of headroom for different inputs of different types. Then on each channel we have the send and return, so we have the send level above, pre or post fader. I'm currently post fader, running into my EFX 1000. And because it's post fader, I can drop the rotary and the tail will continue. Love that, all good. The control for the return is over on the right hand side. So that's a separate return level. Then you've got your headphones level, split Q, and the Q Master blend knob. Both sizes of headphone jack. Booth and master. Then we have the VU meters, lovely analog VU meters. And they will switch over to show the Q. You have Q enabled. And also if you go too far, you go well into the red, then they will actually glow with a red light as well, which I love that. It's a fantastic feature. It's been on the Mastersounds stuff for a while. Awesome. Then we get to the Isolator up top. Just reload the track. So this is a 4-way or 3-way Isolator. You've either got sub, low, mid and high, or just low, mid and high. As with the separate ISO 4 isolator, there is a bit of a pop when you enable or when you change the switch to go between 3 and 4-way. So just drop that down. I wonder if you still hear it. You can hear that clicking in the mic, but there is a small kind of click there. It's analog, it can't be avoided. I suspect most people will either leave it in 3-way mode or 4-way mode all the time. It's certainly not something you're going to be changing, you know, on a track-to-track basis. So this is in 4-way mode right now, so we can kill the sub. Get a bit of bass in there. In the mid. And the high. They've got a plus 7 dB boost on there, which is enough to give you that nice kick, but without being too aggressive, too potentially dangerous on a big system. And then 3-way mode, you just lose the sub and it moves the cutoff point to a slightly different place for the upper. So there you're losing a lot more of the low at once. But I guess the main thing, I mean, yeah, it's got the 4-way now and so on, but the main thing is it has the isolator up here. And that's the beauty of it, is it's now much more comfortable for performance. It's more readily accessible, it's in a nice position. It's a more kind of traditional position and layout for an isolator. You know, most people will, if they have an external one, it'll be above or in front of the mixer, in this kind of horizontal layout. So if you want to really work it, it's just in a more comfortable place to do so. So So yeah, that's it. That is the layout. That's the functionality on the top. Everything logical, everything neat and tidy. When it comes to how this thing feels to perform on, I really have no complaints. So yeah, in terms of layout and functionality, they did nail it with the Mark II, absolutely. When it comes to build quality, it's just as good as ever, and the sound is awesome. It held its own very nicely during the big rotary listening session I did a few weeks back. It doesn't sound quite as epic as the Valve Mark II, but that costs double the price. Speaking of the Valve Mark II, at the time of recording this, they do still have a few of those left, and I cannot recommend that enough. It's one of my favourite mixers on the planet. Check out my full review to see why. So if you've been thinking about picking one of those up, now is your last chance. The effects units are all gone, but they do have some other bits left, including a few ISO 4s, which I reviewed recently and I also love. But then that really is it. After 8 years of awesome products, the Mastersounds mixer journey is over. So there you go, the last Mastersounds mixer I will ever review. Probably. It is sad, you know, I'm sad about it because I've been on this journey with Mastersounds since their first mixers. And I've loved every one of them, and they've only got better over time. You know, I think the current iterations of the Valve and the Radius mixers are just, they're wonderful products. They're really, really good. And the Radius in particular is incredibly well priced. You know, a mixer, a 4-channel rotary of that quality, of that level of design for £1,300 in the UK. That is quite an achievement. It really is. And so yes, their products will be missed in the market. I'm sure they will. They've developed a lot of devoted fans over the years. Shout out my guy Rob Alan over in Vegas, etc. And so like, yeah, it is a shame, but also it's not a disastrous thing. It's not like the end of the world because the company still exists. You know, Ryan has been very clear that Mastersounds is not going away. They're moving into other areas of audio. They're not doing DJ mixers anymore. And so I have no qualms about recommending that you buy the remaining stock of their mixers because you're still going to get the same warranty service, the same aftercare, after sales service that you've had previously. That's not going away. And it's also slightly offset by the fact that Union Audio, which is the other kind of half of the Mastersounds story, there's Ryan and then there's Andy Rigby-Jones. You know, Union Audio is now a brand of its own. They make really nice products, the Orbit and the Elara, and this now, I'm guessing, will leave more of a gap for Andy to come in and fill in those other slots in the lineup, you know, more affordable rotaries, etc. I don't know, as I say, I'm guessing. That's what I hope they do in the future, because I would love to see more from that Union Audio stable. But yeah, Union Audio is now a brand of its own as well. So you know, the loss of Mastersounds is not quite as bad as it could have been because now we have Union Audio operating as a business, you know, a retail offering of their own. And yeah, in the end, I've just got to respect Ryan's decision. You know, they're not a big company. They've made an outsized impact on the industry, I think, considering how small a company they are. They're just a direct-to-consumer brand. They're not distributed by big companies all over the world. You know, they sell products to their fans directly, and they're not huge, but they've had a big influence over both smaller boutique manufacturers and the larger manufacturers. You know, you talk to people at the really big brands out there, they all know who Mastersounds are, they know what their products are. And so I think that is a wonderful thing to have had that kind of impact over such a fairly short time. They've come in, they've done that, and now Ryan's decided he doesn't want to do mixers anymore and they're just going to bounce. I think that's cool. I do. I have to respect it. So as much as it makes me sad that I won't be reviewing any Mastersounds products in the future, I respect what they've done and I respect what they're going to do now in the future. They've just decided they're not going to be in this space anymore. They're going to do other things. I'm excited to see what those other things are. In the comments, tell us about your experiences of Mastersounds as a company with their products. What's been your favorite product that they've released up until now? Will you be jumping in and buying some of this remaining, you know, these last units they've got available? And what would you like to see from the Union Audio stable in the future? Thank you for watching this episode of Beatsource Tech. I do hope you've enjoyed it or found it useful. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future videos. I'll see you next time.